All right, I thought I'd take a change of pace here. I'd switch some gears. So I used to have my house automated. Everything is still here, just busy life, kids, sports, and everything. It just kept me, you know, from sticking with it. So I use a program called Homeseer. Very nice software. Technology just recently has boomed. I mean, everywhere you look, there's thermostats. Everything connects to Wi-Fi, there's Z-Wave, there's a lot of Bluetooth I noticed lately too. And it's great. Like I know so many people at work, they're like, "Oh yeah, I have a Nest thermostat or I have a Wi-Fi thermostat and I bring up an app and they got like 50 apps on their phone to control all the different things." Now, yeah, you can get a Wink system and things tie together and there's probably some really good stuff out there. Uh, OpenHab, I think it is a freebie that's out there. For one guy I work with has that. He loves it. Um, you got to really know your stuff and programming with that. I myself, I don't have time for that. If you look at my other tutorials, you'll see Altiris was a big one for me. That's what I do for a living. I don't have time to learn programming. Just basic general little stuff. So the forum support is phenomenal. There's some good free plugins, paid plugins also. If you get the pro version of software, it comes with other plugins. But Homeseer does support Z-Wave, UPB, X10, uh, 433 megahertz wireless, 310 megahertz wireless, and there's many others I'm not listing. I am not using a ton, but I thought what I would do here real quick is set up my alarm. So I got my machine up and running. There's nothing to show you to install Altiris. Sorry about that. Install Homeseer. When you install Homeseer, homeseer.com/downloads. You download the trial software. You install it. Next, 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 next. You're done. When you fire it up, it will be a little different. It will look like this when it comes up. Actually, I'll shut it down and I'll show you what it looks like a little bit more. So you launch it, this comes up, you'll click continue trial, and that's it. There's nothing really exciting about that. So I know some of my other
Welcome to
videos
Homeseer.
were very boring in the beginning, and probably even later they were too. So you probably heard that. That was the audio piece. At one point, I even had Homeseer connected through a Cat 5 cable that I have running from my alarm system to my rack, where I actually use the speaker to announce things. So, but for now, I'll give you a quick layout. So, a lot of people complain about the interface. Me, I don't care about the interface. The interface is where you configure stuff, you set stuff up. It's a management piece to me. You set up events, timed events, delayed events, motion, doors open, close. You don't touch this. If you need to, they do have HS Touch if you have the Pro version, or you can buy it separately. This is a default template. I really like this. This works for me. Yeah, devices. I don't have any yet. Weather, locks, climate, cameras, events. I don't have a lock yet. I do have a thermostat I can do. I don't have my cameras tied in. Events I'll be able to use. Devices I'll be able to use. But for now, let's go ahead and get started. So, you have your device management page. This is where you'll see all your items. You have events, energy. I don't use this because I don't have a energy device. The log will tell you from down up what version I'm running. And you just read through. Yeah, it's just a log file. To get started, you have your setup. In there, you can set certain things, check for new versions of the software, set your latitude, longitude. You set some default settings. Just, yeah, it's whatever you feel like setting. Global variables, timers, counters. I don't really use a lot of these. Plugins. HS Touch Server, which is what you just saw. You put your weather API key, which I don't have that working at the moment because, like I said, just installed, and we're going to start from the beginning. Plugins, manage. This is where most everything gets started. right off the bat, HS Touch is actually disabled from the beginning. I just clicked it enabled, but we let this happen. We expand. Here's everything. Lighting primary technology, Z-Wave, Insteon, X10. I'm a heavy X10 user. Where else? UPB. So there's a lot of stuff here. That's just there. You got analog, digital, audio, cameras, energy, but we want security. Now I am using a GE Concord 4 alarm panel. When I moved into the house I'm in, they had a SafeWatch 2000 system. Everything is wireless. Everything, all the way down to the door window sensors, glass breaks, everything. I found out I could put a Concord 4 in and everything will work with it. So it was economical for me to do. It cost me $85 from eBay. I got it here, and a couple of guys up here on the forums, I just threw it out there. Hey, I got this alarm. It looks pretty good. A couple people were interested too, so they're the programmers. They created a plugin. So as we come through, here we go. I think it was Piper Pilot was the original member who created the plugin, and work got really busy. It's free, which is another nice thing. He made it open source. A couple of the other guys grabbed it and they've been working on it. So all you do, click, scroll all the way back up, download, install, and it'll go. Install update package was successful, and you see it's up here. Now, one thing, a lot of people, you sit here and go, well, serial ports. What you'll find out in the world of home automation is a lot of serial ports get used. This is what I have. I have COM1 on my motherboard, which is what I use for my alarm. I have an Edge port 4, which is a 4-port serial DB9 to USB. And you can see I just mapped it out real quick. What is plugged into where, what I'm going to use it for. Missing one. Alright, so anyway, we're not on that yet anyway. So, first thing you have to do, enable your plugin. And you can click on it here, or you can go back to plugins, and as you install plugins, the list will start growing with what options you have. So we can go to control, and it does see my alarm already. Now, when you first connect, so what I have is the Superbus 2000, GE Superbus 2000. Here's what it looks like. See if I can find, there it is. The inside view. Let's see. Here it is. Oh, of course, it's going to be a real small picture. Let's blow that up. So, I mean, serial port is in this corner. I'm using these 4 here. I believe it was, I forget the pinning. There's ground, there's 12 volts, and there's bus A, bus B. So I have a Cat5 wire, and I'm only using 4 wires of it that go from this unit in my home automation rack all the way back to my alarm panel, which also plugs into the 4 same pin areas on my alarm. Now, all I had to do to get this active, once the serial port was in and these wires were connected, unplug the battery off my alarm, unplug my alarm out of the wall, wait a couple minutes, plug it all back in, and it auto checked and it found the bus module. This will show up under bus interfaces, and it started working. Now, the downside, the alarm kept beeping because I don't have the home automation plugin installed, which will open the port and keep it active. So my alarm kept chirping. I had to run my son to MMA. I'm back. So I'm going to get this knocked out before the wife gets home because she doesn't like hearing all that stuff. Alright, so that is this end. And while we're here, let's edge port for USB. Now here's an 8. Here's a 4. As you see, it's just 4 serial ports. USB. Here's the front of it. There's nothing to it. You install it's made by Digi. So you download the drivers from them, you install it, and it finds all your ports. Which, Let's see if I can show you that on my other monitor, so please bear with me. All right. So device manager shows up as Ion multi-port serial edge port 4. They have edge port 8s and they have edge port 16s. I have two 16s here. They don't work. I don't know what's up with them. We go to ports. There we go. And you can see they group them together. So if you had when I had my 16 set up, it was actually showed up as 4 sets of 4. But you see COM 1 through 4, which is port 1 through 4, COM 4 through 7. So it's a little more than you probably needed to see at the moment, but I thought I'd give you that quick little show. Now, it sees everything here, but we need to come back to configuration. Before I did this, I wanted to make sure everything's working. It looks like I already ran through it all. I thought I deleted the database. I didn't. So what you do is you'll set your COM port, like I said, so this will usually be disconnected. That's why it's all my serial numbers. So if we come back here, all right, it knows it because it's in the database. But serial port, COM 1, baud, I just leave it alone. Start with HS. You hit it, you have to get connected to Concord 4. You go to advanced, and you just click down the line. So panel setup, you go zone setup, and these top items will get created automatically for you, but you have to come down here and hit retrieve zone info. Now, I have my wife apparently threw out one of my smoke detectors while I was redoing my kitchen. She thought it was one of our old normal alarm regular smoke detectors. So I have a dead item right here. And this dead item up here is a water sensor I have sitting right here on my desk. The whole thing fell in and the board itself went bad. So I have 2 dead items, so I'm not going to worry about that right now, but everything else is seen. So from there, you can also go to user setup, and your users from the panel will get pulled in and you can modify them. But for now, once you're here, and once everything reads in, it's instant. You go back to basic config and it'll tell you. All plugin files, images were found. All zones look okay. Device zones and HS device look good. We're done. That's it. Resync clock for some reason isn't working for me. I gotta look upstairs and figure out why on my actual panel. But next step, view device management. If you remember when I first started this, or back up here, you'll see this was empty. Here it is. Here's everything listed. Now, I'm going to go ahead and run. Let me see if I can hear it. Yep, I just heard a chime. So when you open a door, open a window, you can have your alarm chime. This is one good way to tell that you're also communicating with your panel, is you can hit that. You can arm your panel. So yeah, before I modify these, let's go back to that. I missed that part. Under advanced, panel setup. Where's it basic? It's one of these. Okay, it may not let me until I get the clock synchronized. Where it's not on this page. It might be control. Yes, sorry about that. So, you have a virtual keypad. You can hit keys and they'll actually go. So here's some settings. How many days you want to keep, arming options, arm stay only. So when you arm stay through this plugin, you can do no delay and silent. That's what I like doing. So, code. Put your 4-digit code in. It'll verify it. Remember code. Here's my zones. It's a 96 zone panel. As you see, I have plenty of room. I have everything covered that I need though. Users. I didn't actually create any at the moment. So I wiped everything. Before I had one for myself, my wife, and each of my kids, and they each have their own codes. When they unlock it, I can get an email saying who's home. All right. So I mainly threw this together. This is easy. There's nothing really here. A lot of people on the forums will be like, "Yeah, we've done this." Some people that have just installed this have asked, "Well, how do I rename these? Where do I rename these?" Because this is how it is listed on my actual alarm. So all you do, you click on each one, you rename them. You don't do it from within the plugin. The plugin talks with the panel. This is the database option. So if we have sliding glass door, we go in. We can give it a floor. There is none, so we do new floor. First, room, kitchen. Now you don't change anything else here because the plugin created everything for you. You can come over and take a look. Zone 3, it sees everything here. Everything looks good. So that's all you need to do. We'll hit done. Oh, the other thing we're supposed to do. All right. I'm going to run through these. I'm going to be quiet because I'm going to fast forward through the actual video when I compile it. So there we go. We have everything pretty much set up now, just how we probably would want it. If you probably noticed, I started naming things and then re-changed it. Names got long. It gets kind of tough. Like when you look on here, family room, right back window. Okay. Well, my family room has four windows, two on the back, two on the side. So if we sort this by family room, one, two, three, four, left back, left, right back, right. Something else you can do is you can filter out once you start filling out these floor and rooms, and you can rename these to different things in the setup. You can say, you can call it, you don't have to be floor or room. It can be whatever you want it to be. But you can see here, go, show me, uncheck. I want to see everything on the first floor. There you go. And in addition, I just want to see what's in the dining room. So there you go. Okay, so you can see what there is. Tells you here filtering, showing 2 of 23, show all to get them back. If you notice, things also get grouped together. Basement, showing one. Dining, well, I'm not sure how the grouping itself works, but as you see, these are all grouped together. So that's the general getting it up and running. Now, you can do things where when you set the alarm, you get an email. You disable it, you get an email. Alarm goes off, you get an email. You can have it where you turn the alarm on. If you do stay, it maybe dims certain lights. You do away, it turns more lights off and the front light on. I mean, there's so much you can do with this. One thing, let's take a quick peek. Let's get out of here so this will reload. Alright, so we launch this. And let's go devices. Here we go. And a lot of people say this isn't the prettiest. You know what? On my cell phone, it looks great, works fine. Basement, dining room. This is telling me status. I'm not controlling anything from here because I can't. Let's do all locations, all locations. Getting a little feedback in my wireless headset. Turtle Beach X42 gaming headset. It's interesting. All right. So I believe we can. No, we can come in here. We should be able to go panel control. We'll do arm stay. Now let's go back. All right. It's a little hard to see in that. Let's bring up the page. Let's see. Well, arm stay. So let's disarm it. And it's disarmed. I mean, you're not hearing it or anything. Now, you may not like that with the disarm. That is because of the control, this piece. Remember the code. So it'll arm. So, it's easy to be accessed, the ability to arm, disarm the panel. If you do not know the code, do not change. Alright, so you may not like that. This will also give you information, what software version you're on, hardware revision. So that's that. Let's go to events. Alright, alarm group. I'm just going to call it that. Oh, I hit my gaming mouse, I hit the side button. Let's try that again. New group. And we will call it alarm group. Submit. Alright, we'll add event. If, say, Concord user or Concord trigger. So if Concord trigger, we'll say, I'm not even sure what to do because I don't know what I want to do yet. Let's do, I'm not even sure. I don't see. Alright, so Concord trigger. You can also do device value. The device has its value set. There's so many different things you can do. It gets tricky. What is this group condition? Expand. I have nothing here. Alright, so if the device has been set, we'll say panel status has been set to, oh, no, I don't want panel status. Panel control? No. It's been a while since I've played around with this plugin. So I gotta figure out which one did we want. Chime, connection. Huh. It's obviously not chime control. We don't care about that. Last unfaulted. Panel control. Oh. If this device has been for at least, and it's going to be armed away for at least 0. Device has a value equal to, had its value set to, I don't remember this. The last time I used this was many versions of 3. This is HS3. It was many versions. I thought there was this device has its value set to. This has been for at least. Alright, this value has a value equal to arm away, then control a device, control a timer. I mean, you could do stuff, whatever you want to do here. So you send an email. That's what you would want to do, and you could fill it out and whatnot. But you have to fill up email first in setup and make sure you get the email portion functioning. Use Gmail. Set up these and just get email working first with a blank event. Make sure it works, and then you can go in to here. So I didn't save that event, so it didn't save. But you see my point. Maybe when I get things going, I get more devices, my X10, my 310 megahertz, which is my MS13A wire X10 motion sensors. I have toggle link X10 two-way switches, which are 23890W part number. I have a lot of those set up with two-way, three-way. I have Z-Wave switches. I have the cheap Intermatics. I have the new GE Jascos. I have Oregon temperature sensors around the house. I have X10 DS10As, which are like for alarm, door, window sensors. You can do a lot of cool things with them. You can actually use them. I have 2 of them in my sump pump hooked up to a float, so the float comes up and trips them. So there's a lot more we can do. I hope this helped you out some. I know I babbled a lot. I hope this helped out somewhat on the Concord, and hopefully it helped out. All right, until the next video, have a good one.